No. I thought that was well documented. I had no idea I wanted to be a coach. Right?
What do you think you wanted to do after college?
I wanted to do anything but football. And tells you how good I was at that. So.
What brought you around?
What brought me around? Well, I lived in Columbus after I was done playing. And then Coach Meyer asked me to come and not Coach Meyer, my brother did. My brother was here and asked me to come run scout team receiver during bowl prep on the first year I wasn't playing. And, of course, I said no the first time. But he kept bothering me about it, and I thought it'd be kind of funny. And so I did come and, coaching guys up while I was here. And Coach Meyer asked me to be a coach, and I told him no. And then he asked me again in March after December, and I thought it was a good idea. Gave it a shot.
Playing, I'm not sure if it was your last year with the Dolphins or first year with the Browns. ESPN did a story on you, and you owned a lot of drive-throughs.
Oh, yeah.
You had so much grit that you were even working at some of them when you needed to.
Yeah, it's off season. I had nothing else to do in Ohio. You're not playing golf, so I spent all my time in the off season, which is bizarre, in Ohio, which is usually January, February, March, and the worst times of Ohio. But so I'd work it. I enjoy that. I mean, I enjoy stuff outside of football, so I try to get away. And then, the thought is, it's hard to check in if you never check out. So try to check out every now and then. That way you can check back in.
And before we get to the football question,
Yeah.
do you still own all those?
We actually are in the process of not anymore, as of a couple months. So we have, but that's going to be changing here pretty quickly.
Brian,
Yeah.
if you were writing a help book for somebody about how to recruit well, what would be chapter 1?
Chapter 1. I don't know. I think it probably always starts with being yourself. I think at the end of the day, I don't want to trick anybody into doing anything. So if they don't like me, then don't come here. That's fine. But I don't want them to think I'm somebody I'm not, and then it be a scam game. So be true to yourself, and those that, appreciate that will, pick Ohio State and the Buckeyes and our quarterbacks and our offense and our receiver room, and we'll go down that road. So being true to yourself, I think, is really, really important, because it's really easy to gear, yourself to others, because you have a job you want to get done, and you just got to make sure you're just being true to yourself.
When you look at the results that we've had, it's well documented, and a lot of people have referred to you as the best recruiter in college football, at least from an assistant standpoint. Do you get into a groove of, here's how I'm going to start conversations, here's how I'm going to handle recruitments? Do you have a blueprint or a game plan, a plan of attack? Not that you're going to do the same thing with everybody, but maybe a system, for a lack of a better word, of how you want to.
No. I mean, I think we have a system for getting guys in the building and the things we want to cover on the first visit and the second visit and the third visit, so we stay organized. But, there's no narrative being spun here. I think that, I really take a lot of pride the first time I get a young athlete and their parents or kids, family to come in our room. I really try to make sure that they truly understand, what we're about, what I'm about. I think if you get a feeling for the coach, it probably gives you a good depiction of, what the room probably looks like and how we operate. So I take a lot of pride in that, in those first opportunities. But from a blueprint standpoint, no. I mean, I think, it's like trying to coach every kid the same way. You shouldn't do that. You could be fair, but it's not going to be the same. Everyone's different. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different focuses. So your ability to connect with those and identify those, I think will kind of put you on your right path.
Ryan, so many people have talked about the expectations in this wide receiver room, but Ryan Day has said that this offense has proved nothing yet. How do you tell these guys every day that you're 0-0 and stats don't exist right now?
Because they don't have any stats. So, I think Jackson does and CJ does, but everyone else outside doesn't. And they know that. But, we don't have to tell them. They were identified as the right young men early in recruiting, and the kind of guys we have on our team, in our receiver room, in our quarterback room, and running whatever it is, they all understand that philosophy. It's not about what you've done; it's about what you should do and what you're going to do. So, people forget really quick in sports, and the guys know that by now.
What stood out to you the most when you were recruiting Jackson, and where have you kind of seen him develop? I mean, everybody knows he's a great route runner,
Yep.
great chemistry, but is there something we're not seeing that you've seen in his development?
You guys probably don't get to see how good of a kid he is, a young man. You probably you don't get to interact with him the way that we get to. So you guys just get to see the thing between the lines. At least, maybe not you guys. You guys are around to be able to communicate with him and see what kind of young man he is. But that's what everyone doesn't see is these young men and how great they are. It's one thing to have a great athlete. It's another to have a great person. But to have both in the same individual, that's just special. And we have a lot of those guys. And so coming to quote-unquote work every day, it isn't work at all. It's a lot of fun, and we're all on kind of the same mission.
He talked a little bit about when he was getting recruited,
Yep.
getting noticed, and by you guys. I mean, so whether it was the opening, what stood out when you first saw him play?
Well, it was way before that. I mean, I think he ended up he became a Buckeye in his junior year, early in his junior year. So, it was a combination of a lot of things. Sometimes you just can't, put on paper. Like you just can't, really quantify it. It's a feel. You obviously saw his production. I mean, he was very productive as a junior, but he was even as a sophomore, which we became, high on him. Got a chance for him to visit early in his junior year, and I think we had a good connection pretty early. And, after that, he kind of developed and continued to grow, which you always kind of hope as a coach. You're trying to identify the right guys, and he became doing everything that we thought he could. And, again, as we got to know him more and more and his family, they're awesome people. And, that combination is, believe it or not, is sometimes hard to find, but we've done a really good job of it.
Now that you've been doing this for a little bit,
Yep.
you've had a couple guys come through here. Where do you see guys in your room take that biggest jump from year one to year two?
It's probably everything between the years. Like they think they know how to work, but they really don't. The guys that have the less in that curve, usually do a much better job by their second year. If they know how to work, there's a decent chance at times they're going to find themselves on the field as freshmen. If you're learning how to work and how to play football and digest and apply, that takes time. And there's so many young athletes sometimes that rely on ability, which isn't wrong, but there's so much more that goes. I mean, at the end of the day, every guy in my room, and our team can do the job, can do what they want to do, maybe at different levels, but they can all be potentially NFL players, in my opinion. But it's all about, what you do, how often, your consistency level. Like, guys that just don't make mistakes are really good players. It has nothing to do with, high pointing the ball, at 10 feet in the air. Like, it has nothing to do with it. You rarely see that. There's so much more to football than just the freakish, plays. Those are anomaly. Those are the 1% of 100. So you don't survive or die on those. So, again, my point is there's a lot of things to football that don't, incorporate, the freakish talents, right?
Like Marvin, who kind of grew up around that, getting it.
Yeah.
Does it maybe click a little?
Oh, I'm sure that helps. Absolutely. He knows no different, and I think, but Emeka's that same way. And Julian works his tail off too. Jackson was he worked really hard too. And, but I think that, everyone has their own experiences. I think sometimes, not that guys don't work hard, but it's just different. Like from Ohio, maybe even I didn't fully understand just the competitiveness because we're just set up different in Ohio, and nothing against it. But, I think it's just an interesting dynamic, which is all good. But that puts everybody else on their own timeline.
I don't want to say you have a type, but you kind of have a type and what you look for.
What kind of type?
6'1", 190 to 200 pounds, can do something with the ball once he gets it, can catch it, can run all the routes, can do all that stuff. It just seems like from a physical standpoint, Marvin is not in that same vein of what Jackson and Julian and everybody's different in their own perks, but they're at least around the same umbrella. And then you have Marvin, who's just a different type of athlete. What did you like about him?
Marvin's not that good of an athlete. Come on.
All right, yeah, he's what did you?
Hey, tell him I said that.
What did you like about?
No, I'm kidding.
And then also,
No, his skill set was like it was awesome, but like he would even tell you there was a lot of skill set that needed to develop coming out of high school. It was more his work ethic, like everything I'm talking about, regardless of height, weight, size, and all that. Like it was more about his mental makeup, how he talked it, how he worked, like all that. It's really what it was. That's what made me fall in love with Marv, and then Marv is just taking it to a whole other level. So.
Different was he when he actually showed up here versus like the kids you would go see? Physically.
I mean, he was tall, but I mean, I don't know how much he weighed at the time. 195 maybe. I don't know. You can turn on his highlight film. You can see what you think. But he's again. We always knew what he was capable of. That's why he's here. He just was able to apply it so quickly because of maybe his experiences, upbringing, and then his work ethic is off the charts. So.
I know you asked some recruiting questions. What do you remember about when you were recruited? I know it was a totally different time. Stands out to you about that time in your life?
I would say the times the coaches came to school, that stood out. I would say the frequency at which I came to football games. I was able to with proximity. But that was it. I mean, it didn't take a whole lot for me. I mean, I didn't have a checklist. So.
Do you find that the things that were meaningful to you then are still meaningful to guys now?
I don't know. Everyone's different. I'm not pressing upon people like you should do it this way. I think that, the reason I came to Ohio State was because, I knew there was the best, some of the best receivers in the country. I was not a college football fan growing up, so it was close. I figured it checked every box. If I got a degree from Ohio State, I could get any job in Ohio that I wanted. And then I got here, and I'm like, Teddy, I can do this. Gonzo, I can do this. Santonio, I can do this. You know what I mean? So I guess my point is there wasn't much fluff. I mean, it came down to like, quantitative assessment that, I'm going to compete with the best. I'm going to be able to chase championships, and it checked all my academic requirements. So once I do that, it's what I do with it. And so I think in 30,000 foot view, those things still hold. But I mean, there's just a lot more noise out there than there probably ever been. Go ahead.
Marvin and Mecca in glimpses last year, obviously playing behind Chris and Garrett. How confident are you? I assume pretty confident that they're ready to step into that starring role. What gives you that confidence?
Yeah, we have more. We have a group of guys now that are ready to step in. I mean, I have 6 guys. I have, a 2 deep, that are really ready to get on the field and play. They can do everything I ask. I think that there's some guys in that 6 that need to continue to grow throughout the season, which is fine. That's going to happen. And I think really that's almost the whole deal. I mean, I think that Jackson there's things he needs to work on. He knows I've addressed it with him, and all the way down through the list. So where we are game 1 cannot be where we are game 12, and if we are, we're probably not going to reach our dreams. So but we have a room that is fully ready, maximize their freshman year and their sophomore year, and they're ready to do really good things in their second and third year. Yeah, I think we hit on the kind of their size, right? And the way they play. I mean, they move now, and they are fast, and they're big, and they're 205 pounds, and they've got great hands. The route running is pretty darn elite. So there's a lot of things these guys can do. And are they 4-3 guys? I don't know that. I mean, but that's what Chris's world was in, and Garrett and those guys. So it may be a little different, but these guys bring a lot to the table from their size standpoint. Blocking on the perimeter and really running routes at the same time. So to me, it's probably a pretty difficult matchup with their size and speed combination.
Xavier just said that you don't train. You train every receiver to play every spot.
Yep.
That must give you incredible versatility.
Oh, it does. We've done it. So absolutely, and you guys will see all that. I mean, I think that every guy knows every spot. Regardless of the 3 that are in the game, the guy that's beside me can go to any spot for a sub. So, we talked about having more guys playing this year than we did last year. That's for sure going to be the case. So, and a lot of that's been because of design and being able to train guys and not pigeonhole guys in certain spots and allow these guys to play all 3.
And the defense has.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be lining everywhere.
Brian, who are those 6?
Jackson, Julian, Marvin, Mecca, Xavier Johnson, and Jaden Ballard. Just with Cam having a little hiccup, that's the only reason why he wouldn't be a name I've named, but he'd be in that same group, absolutely. So it would turn into 7.
Brian, I think our perception might be that Emeka and Julian could be looking to play at the same spot. How do you said you have 6 guys who are ready to play, but especially those 2 guys. What's the process of deciding?
We just said all of them are playing every spot. So it's not like a competition for one spot.
Can you talk about Julian and this offseason, how important it was for him just maturity-wise?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I think his growth off the field paralleled even to his growth on the field, and that's critical. Everything we just talked about, from taking care of your body to rest to mental development of the game. I mean, there's so much involved, and I think that to say Curtis Samuel went in a 3-year time span and Terry McLaurin went in 5. Well, Curtis is better because he went in 3. That's not the case. That's never the case. So everyone's on their own path, and I just love the growth he's had, and I think that everyone's gonna chase a goal at different paths, but at the end of the day, the end goal is the most important thing, right? So it's been awesome, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to continue to see the most of it, the growth of it. They're coming along. I think they got a way to go. They got to keep putting on more weight. They got to keep learning the offense. We're making too many mistakes mentally. It's not about the ability. It's just we got to make sure we're cleaner and really just full circle. We got to be better in all assets, in my opinion.
What rise have you seen from Emeka Egbuka this camp?
Yeah, he's taken a great step too. I think really, like we said, those Jaden Ballard too, and Xavier Johnson and Emeka. I mean, those guys have really taken a step. I remember telling Jaden that I thought, frankly, just to give you a perception, I thought where he was at right now, he would be towards the end of this year, but he's kind of already there. So he's got to continue that. It doesn't mean it's good enough. It just means that you're really doing a good job, and that has to maintain. Emeka, I think, is really just continued to be multifaceted, and he's doing everything faster and stronger and cleaner, and that's really a great sign of growth.
Just the way he returned kickoffs last year, just like I told him, he reminds me of that kind of dude. How does that translate into being a receiver?
Yeah, I think it's just his ability to assess a situation and make it right. I mean, that's what route running is, right? I mean, getting certain hurdles or disadvantages or leverage problems and being able to problem solve throughout routes. I mean, that's what route running is all about. So his ability to, sell a return one way and go the other, I mean, that's body language on a route run. I think so. A lot of those things that he does translates, and but it just shows you again how smart of a player he is and how he applies it to his game.
Coach, thank you very much.
Great.
Marvin Harrison
Last one.
recently named as one of the freakiest athletes in college football. Just what kind of ways do you see that from him?
How do you apply for that? Is there an application process? Yeah, what is that? I know, but it's college football. We don't have other people that look like. Okay. What does he do? We're just trying to play football. It's not a bathing suit shoot. It's not, a runway walk. We're just trying to play football and execute it really high. That being said, I'll tell Mar, hey, Mar, that's good and all, but I've seen a lot of freaks not be able to play good football very good. So let's not be that guy. Let's be the other guy that looks like, Hunter Renfrow and is a baller. All right. So, I'm kidding, but that doesn't win us any touchdowns. So, it's all good. I guess it's fun though, right? It's fun, right? Coop? Yeah. As what?
Just how to play the game.
No, they have a different swag. Coop, the way he runs around and operates, and the Ubers he requests, they're probably not the one that Hunter requested. So, no, I'm kidding. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, thanks. Yep.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.